Hi guys, a very good evening, and we are back with yet another insightful session by NavKiran. So, guys, I was told that this is an exclusive session for a couple of colleges. So, what we are doing is we are also going live on YouTube for the benefit of others. And we are back. Yeah. Am I echoing? Is my voice echoing by any chance? Can anyone unmute?
No, not really. Not really.
No. Okay. Yeah. So I was told that this is an exclusive event. So now we're going live on YouTube as well for the benefit of other people who might miss it because they won't be able to register on the link. So yes, now we are live on YouTube and we can begin the session on Interrobang, one of the most coveted competitions, corporate competitions that come to B schools in India. And I'm sure that all of you are very eager and excited to understand how you crack and win Interrobang. We have the winning team from the latest edition, the quadruple, a team from Nmims Mumbai. Very, very happy to have you guys here. So on the panel today, we have Bobby Sinha, an MBA from Nmims Mumbai, who has previously worked at Deloitte and Wipro and is currently employed with Mahindra Combaiwa as a business development manager. And she was also a national finalist at Google CaseStudy Challenge. Welcome, Bobby. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
We have with us Jayati Garg. Previously, she's worked with TCS and now she's employed with Cisco as a product manager. Again, I think as a team, you guys were also a national finalist at Google Case Study Challenge.
Yes, that's correct.
Jayati.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have Nmims Agarwal, who has run his own company previously in the FMCG segment. Currently, is employed with Google as a digital marketing strategist. Hi, Nmims. Very happy to have you here. Nmims, you're on mute. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Really sorry. Thank you.
And lastly, but definitely not the least, we have Prakhar with us, who was a fresher, but currently is employed with Britannia Industries as a management trainee. Also a national runner-up at L'Oreal Brandstorm and V-Guard Business Challenge. Hi, Prakhar. Hi, Quadruple. We're very excited to have you guys with us today. And guys, as I told you, we are live on YouTube so that the other people can also benefit from whatever you guys will be sharing the insights on how to crack Interrobang. So we thought, why keep it exclusive for some colleges only? And we've not really gone live on YouTube for any of our sessions. But for this session, we thought that, might as well, help all the students across B schools. So guys, really excited for your session. So let's start with talking a little bit about the Interrobang, like why should one attempt Interrobang and what exactly is Interrobang? Because as everybody knows, it's the competition that brings the most flamboyance to campuses. It's the competition that, no matter whether you're a participant, no matter whether you are just, someone who's at campus the day Interrobang happens, it's the loudest, the most, they are the biggest corporate competition that happens. So guys, can you just talk a little bit about why Interrobang and why should, everyone who's here and watching us on YouTube attempt it?
Yeah, Unnati, before that, is it okay that I share my screen?
Yes. Please go ahead and share your screen.
Yeah. So Jayati, you share your screen and then I'll start.
Yes, your screen is visible.
And just, presentation.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. So first of all, hi guys, and thanks Unnati for the introduction. It is a very great platform, and for you guys who are participating today, it's a great opportunity. They are doing a great stuff with all the competitions. So let me begin by giving you a brief introduction of what Interrobang is and why is it one of the most sought after and coveted competition at any B school. So first of all, what is Interrobang is that this is the only competition which kind of is your direct leap towards, say, FMCG sector and in the sales and marketing division. So for our college, Interrobang announced the case in the marketing division. And the case was launched around 18th of August in 2019. And it was a huge caselet, around 13 pages, information dense. And we were given about 9 days to do the round 1 submission. And for round 1 submission, the requirement was a 6-page slider. I think for you guys it's different now. You have a two-page of document and a 10-page slider. For us, it was a 6-page document, which correctly details our entire market strategy that we are going to adopt for the case competition. Once that was done, after a month, we had the round one results, in which 5 teams from Nmims were selected. And of those 5 teams, only 2 were allowed for the on-stage event, which is in front of judges. And in those 2 teams, one of the team obviously would be the winner in the entire competition. And apart from the cash reward that we got and the ITC vouchers, the biggest highlight here is that you get a PPI. That is very rare in most of the other competitions. That is the biggest factor why Interrobang is a very important competition, especially for the second year students. And the second point is that what happens is that other competitions, be it the Samsung competition or a Google Case Challenge competition, all these, for example, if I talk about Google Case Challenge competition, that would be very product management oriented or product marketing oriented. And if I talk about Samsung, in our time, it was more about sustainability competition or CSR kind of competition. This is the only competition which is a core marketing competition. So you can actually apply all your 4Ps, your STPs, and other related, whatever marketing concepts that you read. This is the direct platform where you actually get a chance to apply all the theories and all the practicals that you learned in your marketing subject specifically. So yeah, that's about the competition. And talking about the caselet that we got, as I already mentioned, it was a very information-dense case. And the major factor here was that the case was around the surface cleaning segment of ITC. What happened was in May 2019, ITC acquired Nmims, which is a surface cleaner. And it is already one of the leading surface cleaners in the Bengal region and second largest surface cleaner in the Eastern India region. So what they wanted was that by December 2020, they wanted to acquire at least 10% of the South Indian market when it comes to the floor cleaner department. So there were a lot of other informations, but this was the entire crux of it, that they wanted to establish the brand in the South Indian market. So what we are going to do now is we have given you the problem statement. This was our problem statement. We'll try to explain you what our approach was in the case study competition. How did we crack the case? What was the USP of our solution, due to which we think that we were able to win the competition, and few hygiene factors that, be it Interrobang or any other case challenge competitions, what are those few things that you should keep in mind when you are solving a case in any platform that it could be. So I think I would hand it over to Prakhar to explain the approach that we use.
Okay. Hi guys. Unnati, is there something else that you want to bring in, or should I start?
So no, now that you guys have shared the problem statement, I think we can dive into the approach.
Okay.
So however you guys approach, because I think that is the most important make or break for a corporate competition. So yeah, please dive into the approach, Prakhar.
Yeah. So actually, guys, one big change that Interrobang did this year was launch a common competition for all the colleges. However, till last year, every college had a different case challenge, had a different product, had a different problem statement. So to make you understand more about what ITC really looks for, what kind of deck structure do they really admire or do they really like, and what is the presentation crux, or where all should you dive in, is what I'll take you and my team will take you forward with. It'll be great if you guys have any doubts. If you have any questions, you can just type into the comments, or we can later have a Q&A session. So just reserve them for the while. Our approach majorly, so you all know by now, you all must have attempted at least one corporate competition. And we usually start with our situational analysis, which is more or less what the industry analysis is, the secondary research, what the industry says, what the segment you are diving in says. So when all of you hear a floor cleaner segment, you must be, our first thought was how many reports will actually be out there about the floor cleaner segment. And to our surprise, there were very few that could actually give us a secondary insight. Another issue is if today you go to any store, you do not have any such preference regarding a floor cleaner. You just go ask for a phenyl, ask for a Lysol or a Harpic, and that's what you take in and you go home. So we absolutely had nothing to work with. And then therefore we thought that, our primary research would be our best aim to go here, because the target segment that we are going for is mothers, housewives or bachelors or maids, for example. And our secondary research would not really give us much here. So I have written here effort closure with respect to primary research is that you have to make sure that before diving out into the ground, you need to know where you are going to go. So when it comes to floor cleaner segment, our first approach was obviously we'll go to the shops, we'll talk to moms, we'll go to a modern trade store, look at people buying Lysol, Harpic, etc. Talk to them maybe. So the idea is always have this in mind, because groundwork is really intense. It's just not to write in your presentation that we did primary research with respect to 11 interviews and found this insight. It actually gives you insight which helps you in the competition. So going on ground and talking to people helped us a lot and was a major factor for us to win the competition. I'll tell you how. We decided that since now the case was tough for us. Why? Because Nemail number one is only available in West Bengal and southern markets. Number two, we have never seen a live bottle of Nemail. We have never seen the product ever, nor we have used it, nor there's much information about the product on the internet, because it has been recently acquired by ITC, and there was nothing for us. Number three, we had to draft a marketing strategy for a product without understanding the know and feel of the product. So what we did was we actually went to a modern trade store to know what usually consumers have in mind when they pick up a floor cleaner or when they do a grocery shopping, etc. And to our surprise, we got a lot of information, like most of them buy these floor cleaners in the first week of the month because they go for the regular grocery shopping, pick it up for the entire month, and they go away. Number two, there are a lot of brands, there are a lot of unorganized players in there. Nobody really pays much attention to it. Harpic was, Lysol was having a 50% market share. Harpic was having a meager 12% market share. Domix was having a meager 3% market share, and the rest were all local players. So, and the fun part was, why was Harpic having so huge market share was because they focused a lot on TV advertising, which for Nimail we cannot afford, because it's a new brand. We cannot afford going on TV. We cannot afford these kind of marketing gimmicks. So our core idea was to go very heavy on our target audience. First, identify that, and then see what all mediums we can approach for the marketing of the product. So, like I said, we went there. We found out that most of these products are also sold as a bundling thing. They are bundled with a higher selling product and they are sold off. So we had to play around with these things. Another thing was that we found out that the major no nobody really likes chemical cleaners. So one USP of Newmile that we had was that we can take it. It's completely chemical free. We can push it to moms, we can push it to people with children, we can push it to people with pets, and that's what the USP of Nemail was. The funny thing about Nemail was, in West Bengal they used to sell it. The salesman used to sell it by drinking Nemail and showing that nothing can happen to him if he drinks the floor cleaner. So it was such a funny insight that we found out when we talked to people around West Bengal. But it was also important for us to know that the places where it's being sold, what is the perception for people for Nimai. So when we went, we tried reaching out to a friend in Chennai. We asked him to, go to the local market, go to a modern trade store, find out where Nimai was kept. How do people really buy it? Observe them. That they don't want to do. Yeah, I'll come to that, Dhaval. So we had to, we reached out to a friend. Like I said, effort closure. We went an extra mile. We talked to him. We found out that the customers, they really perceived it as a very local product because of the packaging. Now, as you must have seen it in the problem statement slide, the packaging is really like an acid bottle, a green colored water filled in a plastic bottle, transparent. It does not really give a premium vibe. It does not really give a vibe that I would want to buy the product for my young people. So people with a low income group might go for the product, but usually the people with high income group are not going for the product. So that was another insight. The third insight that we got was people don't really care much about floor cleaners unless they have babies with them, unless they have pets with them. They really don't care much. The moms have a set preference because Lysol advertises a lot on TV, so they really just go for Lysol or they go for Harpic, which are the usual names. Another thing is the major factor to set yourself apart in a modern trade store where literally 20 other brands of floor cleaner are present are POD, which is display. Next thing is a salesman who actually promotes the product. So you have to the brands have to go an extra mile when it comes to floor cleaner, though it looks like a very small category. It is not. Brands really play brands really play very aggressively there. So that was one thing. So our primary research overall gave us a very fun insights that we actually included in our final presentation, and judges really admired that. They really liked our a very small insights that we gave them. Next is buyer persona.
Prakhar,
So like
do
us, yeah,
you, sorry to interrupt, but do you remember
yeah,
that
please.
thing that that happened when we were on our primary research thing? So we asked all of these ladies about why are they choosing Lysol and Harpic, and since when are they using it? They don't even remember since how
Yeah,
long it has been
exactly.
that they're using these
It,
products.
it, it says reflect reaction. They go to a floor cleaner segment, they just pick
Yeah,
up a Lysol bottle and keep it in their cart. They don't even think twice about looking at other products. So in such
yeah,
a market, how do you market your own product and set it apart and get a 10% market share? Like Lysol had a 12% market share being such a big brand. So that was a big challenge there. So after completing all of this primary research, like you can go more into the insight, I can discuss more things that we went for. But overall, I just want to say that when it comes to primary research, go an extra mile, really go and talk to people, push them. Don't try to take out answers from them. Go in a flow. Don't try to frame the answers according to what you need. Let them say what they really feel about the product, what their consumer journey is, how do they buy it, and everything. Let it come out naturally from them. Number one. So that is really important. Number two, when you go for industry analysis, go very aggressive about all the data there is, not just with respect to our country, but with also respect to maybe another country, another brand that used a similar thing in a developing nation in a similar kind of region to market their product. So go through a lot of case studies and everything. Nimesh will discuss more about what case studies did we look for. So that's there. Another thing is buyer persona. So we focused mainly on moms. We knew young moms would really like it, who are young mothers, who have small kids, preferably 4 to 5 years of age, 1 to 4 to 5 years of age, and people with pets because the floor cleaners are not really good for them. The people who have pets. So we finalized there. We also thought that we'll focus on the young bachelor crowd, but that was more or less a part of our digital campaign. Our aim was the young moms. Then another thing was how did we go ahead with the South Indian market? Now we all have never lived there. We all had Jyoti studied in
Chennai,
VIT, guess. Yeah,
SRM,
right.
SRM
Yeah,
SRM,
Chennai.
Chennai. Sorry, SRM. Sorry. So she studied in Chennai. She knew a little about the South Indian market, but we did not know anything about what works there. Another fun insight we had to find out was that people in southern India really like their houses to smell of lemongrass. So why limit it to a neem cleaner? Why not play around with the flavors? Why not play around with the smell of the floor cleaner? Another thing that we found out was that like I said, people usually buy it in the first week of the month. They do it with their grocery shopping. They're not really much particular about what they're buying. So all of this played into what we have to do about the how we have to push the product in South India. Another thing was product packaging. People there did not really perceive it as a very nice product. They were like, acid hai, एक प्लास्टिक की बॉटल में है, इस let's not buy it, because वो अपने competitors से compete ही नहीं कर पा रहा है. So that was a major issue. So the thought came into our mind was, why not we do a brand revamping? Why not we actually make the brand what it should be to really capture the kind of target audience we're going for. Then product extensions. So floor cleaner segment usually does not limit to floor cleaner. It goes ahead to disinfectant. It goes ahead to surface cleaner, etc., etc. Toilet cleaners. So why just limit ourselves to a floor cleaning segment, but also suggest them that yes, you guys can go ahead. So like we found out another insight that naphthalene balls. Why not have a neem flavored naphthalene balls? Because these were natural disinfectants that that people in our ancestor homes used to use it for their homes to free it of germs or any other infections. So we thought we'll also use naphthalene balls from the Nimile segment. We thought we'll also use the lemongrass air freshener from the Nimile segment. A fun fact, another fun fact, that Nimile has recently launched a vegetable cleaner because of the COVID pandemic, and we suggested it last year itself during our presentation that we can, actually go for a vegetable or a fruit cleaner by pouring it in the water, and it won't be harmful for anything because it's based out of neem, so it won't be harmful for the fruits and vegetables at all. That was there. Now consumer journey was majorly how a consumer enters there, what is the trigger that we can play with, and how do we push him to buy our product. That was the entire thing, nothing more. But to understand that, because for a product that really does not play much with your head and you just buy it out of reflex, we had to focus a lot on what that small trigger could be for a consumer to purchase our product. Another thing that I would like to tell you here was that ITC really loves, marketing theories. They love the brand management tool, everything that an MBA student should know and should play around with to make sense in their case presentation. It should not be out of the thin air that, we are going to do this, we'll do influencer marketing, ye wo. Nahi, brand ka pura identity batao, pura 4P batao, tell them about the entire marketing funnel. We also named our marketing funnel as CARE, CARE, which was uh, A for was attract and R for was retention or something like that. So we made it similar to what the brand we are playing with, because we revamped the entire Nimile category to a family shield to a name shield for your family, a health shield for your family's armor is what we played around with. So to give a fact that Nimile stands for the safety, it stands for care, it stands for your family's health. So that was our entire brand revamping. We'll see ahead. We also launched the bottles, etc. We'll all see that ahead. But that's the overall point. So if you ask my opinion about with respect to this year's case and the approach that we used last year, I would just like to tell you that whatever segment you're picking in, because the consumer trends changed so much and have changed so much in 2020, I would suggest pick the smallest of triggers and the smallest of insights and go out there and talk to people and then play around with it. Make it the base of your presentation, and you will really see that ITC admires these things because they have access to hundreds of reports. What they do not have much access to is the primary insight that you can actually get out of, right? So I'd say focus much more there. Pick out really interesting habits of people, what the business needs to change, what current status of the business is. Like, let's say online classes have taken a boom, and how does classmate cope with it? If schools don't reopen and kids do not go back to school and this online teaching trend continues, how does classmate cope with it? So these are some questions that you will have to look to. What habit you have to push to the consumers, and how do you play around with that? So any questions on this, I'll be happy to take later. And I'd like to ask Nimesh about what more did we do there. Yeah.
So, Prakha, one question about the part
Yeah.
that you mentioned, that you said that it's a new brand for ITC and they weren't really looking to spend a lot on the TVCs or say ATL for that.
Yeah.
So there's a question which says that was it given in the case that they don't want to do a TVC, or that is something that you guys derived from the fact that they've just acquired the brand and they might not be willing to spend so
Yeah.
much?
Okay. So basically, if you ask me from my experience of corporate competitions, the idea of marketing cases is to spend only that much what you earn. So if my potential to earn in the first year is, let's say, 20 crores, you do not expect me to spend in marketing 5 crores, right? So I have to be very conservative in my marketing strategy unless it's Brandstorm, because they say go all out with marketing. The finances are no limit for your marketing, etc. The competitions like these or in FMCG sector, I would say be very focused about your marketing spends and what channels you are actually propagating, because you can literally suggest anything. हम टीवी पे ads ही run कर देंगे पूरे Star Plus and ZTV and mom channels को पूरा का पूरा हम लोग fill कर देंगे with our ads, but that does not make sense. That's not smart marketing. You have to be very cost conscious. And no, they did not mention it in case, but we did talk to a few of ITC employees, and what they did tell us is be very conservative of your marketing spends. Spend only so much that you can earn back, right? So, and plus, it's the age of digital. It does not make sense to go for a heavy ATL marketing for a new product. Rather, I would suggest go for more digital e-commerce or a BTL marketing play with a new product. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dhaval. So, Nimesh, can you take over from here?
Sure. Sorry, guys. My English connection is a bit shaky. That's why my video was off. Yeah. So to start with, team synergy is something which is really important. I mean, one of the things that we really thought made up for us was this team synergy. As you can see, as mentioned earlier, we just had 9 days to submit our presentation, the first round. And during that time, we had our trimester going on. So, like, as you know, in second year, everyone does not have a same subject. Like, all the four of us did not have a same subject. But, like, the team coordination was really important over there. When someone can just take a break, like, for suppose it's two papers for me tomorrow and one paper for Prakhar, then Jayati and Bobby came forward and took up the responsibility. Then they pass it on to us when we took it further. So, like, team coordination was very important in that sense. Moreover, also while we were presenting our case and on the stage, what really stood out for us was uh, the bond that we share. Like over there, also, like you need to actually enjoy the presentation instead of just thinking that you're going over there making a case just to win. It won't help until unless you enjoy the process. You'll have to actually like because you have already worked on it. You need to be confident about what you have with you. You should have confidence on your team members. Like means the part which has been allocated to everyone, they will do it their best. And like we actually enjoyed the process, and this was the feedback that we also got from the judges that our team coordination really stood up well. So this is one point. So while making up the team, I think you guys must have already made it, but yeah, nail it. Like have confidence in each other, get together and work. So this is something I wanted to share from the team synergy points of view. Apart from that, there are certain key differentiators that we thought was there in our solution which helped us nail the case. One was the research, as like we cannot just overemphasize the importance of this. I think a lot has been said by Prakhar, how our research have really helped. But just one thing that Prakhar wanted me to cover over there was one of the secondary research that we did was that we found a case study where it was mentioned when a similar like somewhere in not means outside India, when a company changed the picture that is being portrayed on the bottle, like they changed the picture to like a child playing on the floor or just like a legs picture on the floor, their
Something like
sales
this.
just shoot up. Sorry.
Yeah, something like this on the right hand side of the slide.
And there was another insight that they kind of reduced the coloring. It was on a lighter tone, even that, and the picture on the product.
Yeah.
So we make something similar to this, and we also like presented that case, which really stood out for us. This is what we thought of. Can we go to the previous slide? Yeah. So this is one thing that we realized, and again, just to reiterate, do research. You need to go. You need to dig into it. You need to go to the market. You need to like find out the real problem that people are facing. And your geographical location or anything cannot be an excuse. As Prakash said, we had the product going to be launched in Chennai, and we were means in the South India, and we were in Mumbai at that point of time. But we found out few of our friends who were there. We made a questionnaire, we sent out to them, requested them, we called them, followed up, and like we made sure we get the insights of the people over there. So do make sure that you get that. then POD, that is product revamping, variants specific to South Indian market, as has been covered here already. Lemongrass was one of the best insight that we got, that people over there really like the smell of lemongrass, and hence we included that. Also, one of the things that we found out was during monsoon, people um, actually apply some antiseptic like Dettol or something while mopping their floor. This is because the moisture, sorry, the moisture content in the atmosphere is more during that time. So our solution ensure that we also, like, while positioning our product, we position it in a way that during rainy season, people do not have to add any additional ingredients to our substance. Our substance in itself is like the solution to overall things. So if you buy a Lysol or something else, you might have to add something to your product and then mop the floor. But if you buy our product, you just need to go at once. So this was few things that we took, and as you can see, the bottles and all, we have actually revamped it, and we also like the bottle on the right side. So initially you saw that there was a green colored bottle, plastic bottle, which like didn't seem so pleasant to eyes. But yeah, we actually made a prototype of this also and brought it on the stage. So yeah, that was something I think really stood out for us. Yeah, yes. Then explode the unexplored. So we just try to think out of the box. Apart from like covering the market share in the normal scenario, like we just obviously we did all the guesstimates of how many households are there in South India, what is the market share right now, how can we grow, what is the living lifestyle, what is the salary of people, everything. But one thing that we went out of the box was B2B sales. So when we were doing this, so we, after covering all the B2C channels, we focused also on the B2B sales, like schools, hospitals. So this really helped us in financials also, to prove our point that we are able to attain the market share that are expected by the target year. I think 2020 was the target year at that point of time. So by the target year, how do we achieve it? So one of our main focus was B2B sales, and as you know, hospitals and schools are institutions which have to be kept hygiene, and this is something where we can nail on. Then we also
Yeah,
on
so
the
I'll
security
just
application.
cut you off here, Nimesh, for a
Go
second.
ahead. Go ahead.
Institutional sales, majorly, it was the judges were really impressed by it. Why? Majorly was because our product is such that anyone can use it. You know, you can use a Lysol apart from our product. But hospitals and schools were somewhere where kids usually play on the floor, or kids usually drop things on the floor, then put it in their mouth, or hospitals have to be really clean. They have to be really hygienic. And when you say neem, naturally the image in your head comes off as a high disinfectant. So we played along with that, and we showed that a major part of our revenue, almost 30 crores of our revenue that we expected to generate, a major part of it came from these institutionalized sales, and they loved it because they did not think of it as a possible business dimension. So when even this year you are expected to find out about new business dimensions or the new ways to boost sales or change habits, you should really go ahead and look for alternating business dimensions where you can sell your product, because now the sky's the limit, and you have to think of every possible way where your product can land at. So yeah, that continue, sorry.
Thanks, Pratak, for adding that. Yeah, going on to the theory application. So you'll have to just realize that अपने जो पढ़ते हैं college में, it's not like waste. So do go through your marketing books. I think that really helped us because we took up a few theories from there and represented them. I think Bobby can explain this a
Yeah,
bit more.
sure.
If you can just change the slide, JP.
Yeah, so I think for all the, especially the NMIMS folks who are here, if you have the subject brand management, and if Amit Ragnekar sir, if he's still teaching at NMIMS, he is a big asset when it comes to brand management. That is the main reason why we had all these concepts handy. So one of them was, as mentioned in this slide, it is Capfer's brand identity prism, which is essentially personifying your brand as to how the person feels internally when using the brand, and how externally others feel whoever is using that brand. And basis that particular model, we designed what can be the elements, like for example, what will be the personality of the brand. Will it be an Indian traditional brand? It will be emitting cleanliness, hygienic. reliable and responsible stuff, different attributes like that. And you know what happens with such cases, especially marketing cases, which the insights can be very simple, whatever, be it from your primary research or be it from some past case study competitions. But when you back it up with, say, a data, as we mentioned, a case study which happened globally due to changing the color of the packaging and adding a different kind of picture, or when you add a theory, marketing theory, which has already been established, or you give those small insights, as we mentioned that in, the customers were not really concerned about what the product is. They are sometimes concerned about the price, or sometimes they only will pick Lysol. So once you have data and theories and past case studies back, that really adds on to whatever solution and whatever strategies you apply. So that's something you should be very careful in whatever solution that you put in this case or any other marketing case study challenge. Yeah, over to you, Nimesh.
Thank you, Bobby, for sharing that. I think she took over from us the brand management thing entirely. So yeah. As we have covered theory, applications, and solutions were backed up with facts, data, past case studies. So whatever you present over there, whatever idea, like thinking out of the box is really important. But then again, you have to support that with a fact, with a data, or some case studies. Like we explained that if we say that if we change the logo or the picture on the bottle, like someone playing on the floor or like pets on the floor, we have to support it with a case study, like how the numbers shoot up for them. If we say that, for suppose, if we are suggesting them that if we are going for institutional sales, like B2B sales, then we have to show them the guesstimates, the number, how we are planning to like go ahead with reaching out to them and covering a particular percentage of schools or colleges, and how much sales in a year will they give to us. So anything that you present must be supported by a fact. You cannot just like think that, yeah, this is my instinct, this is a good idea, let's put that, because judges during Q&A will try to like get into it because they really want to do it. As Pathak said that the vegetable wash that you are seeing right now was one of our idea that we presented over there. So you never know. You are coming up with an idea, but next year probably you are working in ITC. Then it's the person that is driving that idea into reality, or like even sitting back. Like one thing which happened with us was that by the time we received the PPI, all of us were pleased. So yeah, we were not on the project, but yeah, we can see our project being working over there. Then comes one of the most important things, that is financials with timeline. Now, though we said that ITC is really marketing heavy, slide marketing heavy presentation that we have made, but financials are something really important in every presentation. And if the judge is someone who is from the area of finance, he might not be interested in all of the slides, but like one of the judge, if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, Jyoti and Bobby and Sakar. So what happened is one of the judge that was there was from the finance background. So he just tried to like roast us in the finance. But yeah, because we had like logic for everything, the calculations were perfect. We could sail it through. Like for suppose one of the thing was we weren't investing much in the initial years. Like though we were investing to increase the brand awareness of the product, but like our marketing spend was like distributed as such that we were spending more towards third year or something like that. So the judge questioned us that why our spends were like
Um, is Nimesh audible?
No, I think we lost him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is not audible. I think you guys can, anyone on a few.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So
I'll take over this thing. So next thing was financials with timeline. We had a very detailed and descriptive timeline with all the financials in place. We knew when to, we had told them how to invest and when to invest in what all activities. So all that was there in place, and judges were really impressed with that because we had everything in percentages, we had every data, facts and figures in place there. And the next point was our thought process was in tandem with that of ITC. So as Prabhu already mentioned, that we spend only after we earn that much. So, our thought process, our strategy was completely in alignment with that of ITC. So that really helped for us. The next thing was the Q&A handling. As Nimesh already mentioned that, we had a nice team synergy. We had already worked in a lot of competitions before, and we had worked in different projects. So Q&A handling was a quick cakewalk for us. We took time to discuss every question. We, twice asked the judges about, what they really asked us, and we could answer them what they really wanted from us. So that was pretty good in our case. Moving on, so these are the few snippets from our slides. The first one was the prism that Bobby already mentioned, and the product that was there. I mean, the product that we revamped. So we have it on the right side of the slide, just for you to have a look at it. And next is the consumer life cycle journey, which Prakhar and Nmims have already explained about it in quite detail. So this is, from the initiation till the post-purchase experience, what triggers the person to, actually go ahead and buy it in the trades. So that is there. So this was how our POD looked at the time of the presentation. We had all these samples bought from the market, and then we got a printout of the revamping thing, and then we pasted it on the bottles. If you can see, there's a small sachet over there. That's the air freshener in the lemongrass flavor for the South Indian market. That was, this POD thing actually stood out for us. This was
a game changer for us completely.
Thinking out of the box thing for our team.
And there's a very, like in the POD, we have also shown how we have bundled something with a Savlon 1 liter bottle. That was majorly to push the trials of the product, because Savlon is one of the fast selling products for ITC there. So it was a well thought out marketing strategy that we can bundle a small try on packet with Savlon so that people actually take it home, and it also gives the feeling of the disinfectant because Savlon already being there in that category. So that's what we thought there. Yeah.
Correct. So this was the structure of our deck of the final presentation. So I'll just quickly read it out. The situation analysis, which Prakhar mentioned, it contained all the secondary research, the objective which we were supposed to achieve with primary research, and then we moved on to the market segmentation, which he mentioned, the moms, maids, and the people who actually go out in the market and buy the product. The brand identity, as Bobby mentioned about the Cafe's identity prism, the strategy that we took, the tactics, the ATL, BTL activities, the customer journey life cycle that we showed you. The brand architecture is the various variants of Nmims that we had introduced to them, like the lemongrass variant, the air freshener, the naphthalene balls, and all of that. And lastly, the financials with the timeline. So this was the structure. This was the exact structure of our deck. Moving on, this was all about the ITC Interrobang as such. This is just a quick hygiene factor for all the case study competitions that you might be handling going forward. So we just wanted to, share our experience with all of you. So first one is just to be very specific with ITC itself. It's a very information dense case. So, just take a printout of it, just read it aloud, just, read it again and again, go through it because of the information that you might lose if you don't do that. And it is very important to, focus on the very smaller details, very precise details that are given in there that might really help you. Also, be open to all the feedbacks that come into you. Approach people, approach seniors, approach anybody, any employee working in that company for that case study competition. You might get insights. So it's very critical for you to be open to feedbacks there. Also, this happened with us. So do not include anything that you're not confident about. So we had included a chart. We were not really sure about it, but we had thought it through, but not really sure about it. So we were kind of busted. So we were kind of busted with that, but we handled it quite well there then on the stage. But still,
and the idea is to accept the mistake if you have made one.
Yes, they know what they are talking about, and we accepted it. Like, okay, this is our mistake, and then we moved on. And that was actually our first question. So it's kind of demotivating for us कि ये तो शुरू होने से पहले खत्म हो गया, but we handled it well. So you should also keep it in mind that PPT में कुछ गड़बड़ मत डालो और डल भी गया तो make sure that you are handling it.
Just accept the fact that you did it.
Yeah.
So moving on, this is go an extra mile. As Prakhar mentioned, for all the marketing case studies specifically, groundwork is a must. Like you should do all the primary research really, really well. You should go out in the field, talk to people, talk to as many people as you can. So it's just for ITC that I'm saying, but for Google, as we guys had also worked on Google, we had already approached. So it's not like an FMCG product that, you know, that you can get out in the market. But still, we approached a lot of people. We contacted them. We tried
30 to 35 easily.
Yeah, aram se. So that was, so that much work you have to do. You have to, you know, get out of your comfort zone, go out in the market, just rush it out. That's it. And think out of the box. Yes, as mentioned, it's a cliche, but it is a must. It works. Like we mentioned, we had this POD thing created out of. So it, Prakhar, as I rightly remembered, it was just the last day that we had gone out in the market, and you know, it just clicked us that we had to make all these things.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
The last day you will get the finale ka mail ek din pehle from the
24
finale
hours you
and
have.
sham ko. And 24 hours you'll have to do the entire thing, and we got it all made. Bottles got the printouts made for the bottles, the stickers, everything made then and there.
yeah,
We
so it
only
was,
made it. So it was like we were
Yeah, we
having
only
an art
made it.
and
I mean,
yeah, we were having an art and craft competition, and meanwhile we were doing a PPT case study thing also side by side. So it was a roller coaster the day before.
yeah, but it was so much fun to have it at the last moment, think it through, and then have something which, you know, which stands out in your presentation. Everybody talks about financials, everybody talks about every research and everything, but you should have something, you should think of something which, you know, really stands out for your presentation as such, your solution. So yeah, that's it. That's it
just
from our side.
one more thing, as Jayati was mentioning about feedbacks. So be it this case or any other case, not just when people are giving you feedback, don't always think about changing your solution to whatever they are saying. Sometimes gauge their reaction. What are they actually saying? Are they excited about your solution? And don't restrict to one particular feedback. So we talk to industry leaders, we talk to our consumers who could be potential consumers, and sometimes our seniors who had already been a part of that competition. So those are the things, and once you start analyzing their reaction, you actually can frame how the judges are going to react to it, or whoever is going to, you know, analyze your case. So that is a very important part, and you should never let it go. Like that is the thing which you should keep in mind.
True.
Yeah. So I think
And do
that
leverage
would
your
be,
friend group. Like it will be
Ramesh.
tough. Like maybe sometime like four of you may not be enough. Like when we had this 24 hours just with us, we also like tried taking help from our friends. So do leverage your MBA friends.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we can easily say in ITC
I
or in Google. It was not like 4 people. We had many virtual members. We had many extra members, and for you guys also, things would be very different now given the
exactly. So
situation.
it's kind of virtual for you. So it's quite difficult for you to, you know, approach people, but do that. It really helps.
Yeah, I think that would be all from us.
Yeah. So any questions, we can take it up.
Also, one small thing that we missed, since our target audience was, how do you do a digital marketing for a floor cleaner segment? Don't limit yourself. Since our target audience was young moms, we went out to mom bloggers. We went out to pet for India websites or pet websites where you buy, things for pets. We also suggested the collaboration with these parenting websites where people can buy these things under the must-have for parents. So all of these things we suggested. So don't limit if your category cannot be sold off in a digital store. It definitely can. You just have to think of a business dimension where it can. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, guys. So to the audience out there, if there is any questions, guys, feel free to ask. Though they've been very clear and very detailed through their presentation, but if there's anything that you guys still feel the need to ask, please go ahead and do so. Guys, is there any more of your slides that you can show to them? Like anything that you can show?
Yeah.
Sure.
Slides which you submitted to ITC or presented to ITC?
Yeah, definitely.
Because people always want to see what was the winning slide, like what it looked like.
Yeah, sure.
That gives a lot of idea as to how they can make their own slides,
I will do that. 1 second.
Yeah, sure. So guys, you can have a look at their slides, the way they presented their deck. And if there's anything that you guys want to ask on that, and or maybe just take inspiration for this edition.
Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, so this was our final presentation.
Okay, the final presentation which you showcased?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it started from all the situation analysis, the secondary research, competitive analysis, the objective, the problem statement, the primary research, as we had mentioned, you should have data, charts, and all of that. And market segmentation, all the segments, brand identity, our strategy, the 4 Ps, product, price, place. As we had mentioned, we had guesstimated
Here's
the
the
schools and
calculation
colleges.
for the school collaboration.
Yes, this part. So
it's very important to give out calculations, otherwise it seems like a guess.
With FMCG
yeah,
particularly, it's very, very, very important to actually show numbers.
definitely.
And feel free to like take guesstimates. You might not get the exact numbers, but you can take some reference number, and from that you can derive what you want.
This is the promotion. This is the umbrella campaign that we had promoted. Your family's armor. The tagline was the neem shield. And this the care thing that Prakhar was talking about: communicate, attract, responsiveness, and engage. This was our customer funnel, marketing funnel. These are the ATL activities. As we were supposed to increase the market share in South India, these were the particular things that we were aiming for. Celebrities, Ramya Krishnan, I guess she plays mom role in quite a lot of shows and movies. So we targeted her, TVC and print ads in the local magazines.
Because the people, especially women magazines in South India is really popular, Sudha, Saheli, Vanita, all of these magazines were really popular amongst housewives. So we did focus there, traditional marketing. Yeah.
Moving on to the BTL activities, as you can see, the Nmims bottle is placed at the lower bottom of the deck. So that was one thing that we had observed.
And it was placed with the other acid bottles. So that clearly gave us the impression that what it's perceived as, even for the store owners.
Correct. And this is the Nmims health representative that was supposed to be there in all the trade stores. And on the right, you can see the POD that was there that we wanted to create. Have a look at it. And the digital marketing and e-commerce suggestions that we had given them. This is the life cycle that we'd already spoken about. And these are the variants: the lemongrass, the air freshener, the spray, all of this. And these are the financials, the phases, cities, percentages, and all of it in a very detailed way. When to implement what and how much of your cost should go in there. So yeah, that's
But
it.
guys, very detailed. I think you've done the entire work that a brand manager is supposed to do in like 2-3 I think all the insights have been captured like that. So great work on this. And I think it kind of shows that what ITC is looking for. They're looking for an out and out, a completely holistic campaign, inclusive of their future plans, including every kind of brand templates that you can put. I think that is what ITC expects. And I think the audience should also take away that whatever it is that you've learned till your second year, please apply it all.
Consider it as your toughest marketing. Consider it as your toughest marketing and brand management project. That's what you should think of it and go ahead.
All models, all the everything I think that you guys could think of, and whatever we've gained in MBA, I think this is all the representation of that. So I think going all out is the strategy with ITC. But great presentation, guys. Great details. The way you've captured the insights is amazing. The smaller details about how it is placed and it's not visible and how you can make it visible. The smaller things that you've captured and kind of shown what is and what should be. So as is should be is also has been captured. So great, guys, and thank you for being a part of this session. I think you guys have really given a great guidance on how ITC Interrobang can be cracked. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for taking us through your slides. I'm sure that has been a very that must have been a big takeaway for the people out here today. So guys, if there's
Unnati, just to interrupt
sure.
you once. Though we have shared a slide, I think in the last moment we had to just add few more slides. So this was not the final presentation that we could
Yeah, the
actually. There was a
final
little bit
slide.
change. Yeah, there were a few slides
Yeah,
moved
this is
between
one
those.
of the draft.
Yeah. So
No,
we just
completely
realized while
understand. Yeah,
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 it's
yeah,
work from 1 year
absolutely.
back.
But I'm sure it has really represented how much effort and how much thinking that has gone into making Nmail a big success for them. So everything that you could I think possibly put in, you guys have, and it's extremely detailed from a brand management perspective. So that's great, guys, and thanks for showing it so that people also have an idea of what all they can put, what all models can be used. So that's great. And guys, if there's any question to the audience, this I'm telling, if there's any questions, guys, feel free to ask, or else we can call it a day. Let's give them a minute or so. So guys,
Okay.
what was the prizes like this year? Like when you guys won?
So
Go
it was,
ahead.
As you could
yeah,
see
go
that there was a checks photo.
Yeah,
Because
so the
ITC
cash.
prizes, yeah.
Yeah, so the cash prize was 1 lakh rupees with ITC vouchers worth 48,000 rupees. And of course, the most important was the PPI that all the campus winners get. And for the first runner up, they had 50,000 cash prize and I think 24,000 ITC vouchers. And for the remaining three campus finalists who won who were shortlisted after the first submission, they got 16,000 rupees worth of ITC vouchers.
Yeah,
and
that
it was ITC hotel vouchers, so
Yeah.
you can just go there, chill,
Stay and
and
chill.
have
Yeah,
a bill
it's
of 48,000. And yeah.
But unfortunately, COVID struck.
we're still
oh
waiting
yeah.
to do that. It's still in the pipeline, but yeah,
Wrong timing to get ITC hotel vouchers.
Yeah.
wrong timing for COVID.
No, because I think they give like different vouchers. Like so all their group companies, they give different vouchers every year. Because
Okay.
Okay.
I was in my second year, they had given out some different vouchers. I think it was from their apparel brand. They had given out.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that's
so I think they keep rotating and keep giving out different brand vouchers. But nevertheless, now that unlock has started and people are going and visiting hotels, so I hope you guys can use your vouchers too.
Hopefully.
So I guess there's not a lot of questions from the audience. So I think we can call it a day. Thanks, guys, for joining and sharing in detail with what you did to win in Interrobang, and really kudos to you on your win and as well as for joining in today. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
calling us. Thank you.
and have a
Thanks
good
a lot.
night, all the panelists and the audience. Have a great.
Best of luck, everyone. Yeah.
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 Best of luck, guys.
All the very best.
Bye
I'll
bye.
have to
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.